Sergeant Arms, bring the group to attention.
Parade, attention! Raise colors.
Attention.
Attention!
Stand at ease.
Stand at ease.
Stand easy.
Stand easy.
Hello and welcome. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to attend and acknowledge the importance of our local flag raising and kickoff to the 2024 Poppy campaign. I'd also like to acknowledge that we're meeting on Robinson-Huron Treaty territory, and in particular, the bands of Batchewana and Garden River, as well as the Métis Nation. Thank you for your stewardship. Every year, millions of Canadians wear our poppy as a symbol of remembrance. In Canada, and in particular the Royal Canadian Legion, we view the poppy as sacred. It reminds us of the service and sacrifice of our service members dating back to World War I. Originally used as a means of addressing the significant loss to families due to death and injuries caused by war. Some of the original poppies were created by and for injured service members. Today, the Royal Canadian Legion distributes millions of poppies each year. The goal remains the same: to honor the service and sacrifice of our members from World War I to present, to raise funds to support our brave soldiers and their families, to educate the youth in our communities of the cost of peace and the importance of the service members in the pursuit of peace, to support our community resources in the areas of healthcare, emergency services, and social services. I would now ask my comrades that were named to assist me and pin poppies on our guest to start this campaign. I would like to now invite Lisa, representing Mr. Terry Sheehan, our MP, to say a few words.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great honor of mine, and Terry wishes he was here. He had a commitment with the House of Commons, but I'm just so honored, and thank you, and wishing you all a successful and wonderful Poppy campaign. The Poppy is sacred, and so is our democracy, and thank you for all the sacrifice. Thank you.
I would ask our MPP, Mr. Ross Romano, to say a few words.
Thank you, Pierre. I agree with Pierre. This has been, I think, 6 years for me, and this is by far the biggest showing I've ever seen at one of our poppy flag raising ceremonies. So it's a privilege to see you all here. I'm really excited to see all the youth, the cadets that are here today. This is an extremely important moment for us all. This is an extremely symbolic moment for us as a community, for us as a nation, when we honor and remember all those who sacrificed their lives so that we could all be here and enjoy the freedoms we have today. And it's something that is so important for us to never forget. what those sacrifices were and how that ultimate sacrifice paved the way for us to enjoy what we have. So I think it's something very critical that we always support the Poppy fundraising campaign. It supports so much in our community, supports youth programs, education, as Pierre has already indicated, and something that we should always do everything we can to support our Legion, to support our veterans, and to support all of those who stand at arms on behalf of our country to protect us, and who do so much in our community to support us in every day. And so I really want to say a very special thank you to everybody who puts on this event, for all of those of you who are out there selling poppies and going out and doing everything you can to raise those funds for all of your fellow veterans community members here in Sault Ste. Marie and across the board. I thank you a great deal for everything you do for our community, and really appreciate your continued and steadfast effort in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure to introduce the Mayor of Sault Ste. Marie, Mr. Matthew Shoemaker.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'd like to echo much of what Ross said, which is that Royal Canadian Legion Branch 25 in our community and the branches all across the country are tasked with rolling out the Poppy campaign every year. And they are made up largely, the Legion branches, of veterans. And so after having served our countries for all the time you have served, you're then asked to continue to serve our communities in many cases by seeing the successful unfolding of this campaign, and then ensuring that the funds that are raised in the Poppy campaign are used for the benefit of community members. And so we thank you for your ongoing service through the Poppy campaign, and of course the service that you have given to the country over your years of service. So buy a Poppy, and buy multiple if they keep falling off. Don't worry about them falling off. Buy more, because it is all for a great cause, and it all goes and helps our community members who need it most. Thank you.
Lieutenant Colonel Nadon, would you like to say a few words? He's the CO of the 49th Field Regiment, huge supporter of the Legion.
Thank you, Pierre. It's always a great honor when Remembrance Week comes around. I can remember my earliest days as a young kid following veterans from Branch 25, and actually getting to meet some World War I vets back in those days. And it always left a great impression on me. And now as a veteran, it has even a more deeper meaning for Remembrance Day. It's great to see the cadets here and have the youth supporting the Poppy campaign and Remembrance Day, as well as a couple of my own soldiers. Thank you very much for what you do at Branch 25 and supporting veterans. It's well received. We know you're there. You're kind of like our backstop for when guys get out of the service. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for the Poppy campaign and the funds that you raise on our behalf. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Would either one of you, would you like to say anything? Colonel Healy, the Honorary Colonel of 49th Field Regiment.
Thank you very much for including us in your service today. Just, as a vet, I say to myself after 32 years, as a country, we ask one day of all citizens to recognize veterans, November the 11th. I don't know that that's too much to ask of our citizens, but I see the numbers dwindling as the years go by. I'd also ask that every time you pass this cenotaph, you make an eyes right and pay your respect. Every time I see a flag, I pay my respect for the years of service and for all of those that I know personally that have given of their time, their effort, and in some cases their life. So we're in a period of remembrance. Of particular note is November the 11th, the one day we ask all citizens to remember. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I also want to give a shout out to the soldiers here today. One of the things that the Legion is not always good at is reminding serving members that the Legion is here for you as well. You don't have to be a veteran to access services. And on that note, many reservists in particular get out thinking that they are not veterans, but in fact you are. So if you have a need, you know somebody that is in need, please remember the Royal Canadian Legion and our service branch. They are here to help serving and veterans. Thank you very much. I want to remind you that there is a crochet poppy project unveiling at the Sault Ste. Marie Museum following this service. The vast majority of the people here will be heading there for that unveiling. Over the past several months, a number of people in the community have crocheted these poppies. They've been attached by, a large portion of them were attached by the 3 cadet corps and then other volunteers, and that is going to be unveiled immediately following this service. Thank you once again all for taking the time. Sergeant at Arms, you can dismiss them.
Parade. Attention. Turning right. Dismiss.